Hey YouTube, Ed here with Jack of all trades, and welcome back to another video. So today what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the Gowutar compact red dot sight. You can pick these sights up off of Amazon for about 80 bucks, and it's a pretty cost-effective alternative to some of the more expensive models out there. So let's go ahead and let's talk about this red dot sight. Welcome back. So before we get into this video, as always, if you're liking what you see here on the Jack of all trades channel, you'd be doing me a huge solid by hitting that like and subscribe button down below. You make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified of upcoming videos. And in all reality, it's just a reminder, because every Saturday morning at 8 o'clock a new video comes out without fail. That's the only support I ever ask for. I don't have Patreon. I don't ever ask you for money. I just ask you to support the channel through likes and subscribes. Just a quick note for those on YouTube who monitor these videos, this sight is not a laser sight. It does not physically cast a red dot onto the target. It is all internal. It is no different than any other scope that is used out there. Mounting this to a firearm is not a modification in any way, shape, or form. It is simply an accessory or an alternate style of sighting system. It is not infrared, it is not illegal, and there is no reason why this should violate any of the YouTube usage policies. That's all right, so let's go ahead and let's open up the box, see what we get inside the box. You get your various sundries like you typically do with most sights. You get your garden variety cleaning cloth. Very basic instructions. It's not really an instruction booklet, it's more of an instruction pamphlet. And to be honest with you, I've already had this thing out and apart, but it's very basic. There's not a whole lot to this thing, so it's very simple to use. And the instructions actually tell you absolutely everything you need to know about it. In the box, you also get a second Picatinny rail mounting option. You get two options, one high, one low. You get a CR2032 battery, which is pretty common now. A lot of scope companies are providing those batteries. You get all the tooling that you need to mount the scope, and then of course, obviously, you get the scope itself. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about the scope itself. It's made out of 6061 aircraft grade aluminum. It's got 800 G's worth of shock proof. This is the only scope company which I have ever run across which has actually given me a G rating as to what this thing will handle as far as shock proof is concerned on it, so that's kind of nice. It is completely waterproof as stated in their advertising. It's got a 1 MOA click adjustment, so for every click on the adjustment at 100 yards, you get 1 inch of movement. That's not horribly precise, but these are not a precision scope. These are a reflex sight. They are supposed to be fast acquisition with a relative degree of accuracy to them. 1 MOA click is kind of large as far as the adjustment is concerned, but for the application that I'm going to use it in and for the application that most people are going to use it in, that's going to be more than effective. It's got 10 illumination settings. You got 2 buttons on the side here. You got plus and minus, and the plus and the minus on it gives you the 10 different settings of illumination. And here's the fun part about this one. This has got a shake awake option. Basically, if you let this thing sit idle for 2 minutes, it will shut itself off. And then as soon as it detects movement, it will turn the sight back on again. They claim anywhere from 200 to 40,000 hours of battery life, or of usable battery life, depending on how much you shoot it, I suppose. Now, my shotgun, my tactical shotgun, actually sits in my house as a home defense gun, and it's going to sit idle most of the time. So therefore, I can leave this sight turned on. It will shut itself off after 2 minutes, and then if I ever should need it, God forbid I should ever have to use it, as soon as it detects movement, it'll go ahead and turn the sight on for me, and I don't have to worry about it. There is also an option to manually shut the sight off completely so that the shake awake is disabled. So with the scope, you get some nice little covers for it. Typically, I generally find that these covers, these rubber ones, doesn't matter who makes them, after about a year or so, they start to get dry rotted and they will probably just fall apart. And as you can see, the sight is not very big. It's extremely compact, which is one of the things I really like about this sight. So let's talk a little bit about the physical size of it. From front to back, the sight is only 2.48 inches long, so it's about 2.5 inches long. If you've got the high riser on it, you are about 1.47 inches from the bottom of the riser to optical center of the lens. If you run with the short riser, you're about 0.87 inches. I really like the high riser because it is also see-through. And I have mounted this to my shotgun already, and I can see the sights through the riser. So I have a backup option should the batteries actually go dead or should the scope fail. I will not be left out in the wind. I will actually have a backup iron sight option to use if necessary. The lens on it is 20 millimeters. As I said, it's very, very small, and it's very easy to look around the other side with your opposite eye open. In a both eyes open shooting situation, which is really how you should be shooting these. Now, one thing you're going to notice right away, there's no caps on your windage and elevation. However, these knobs, though there's no caps, are totally waterproof. You don't need the caps to make this thing waterproof. They've got rubber seals and O-rings in here to keep these things sealed from the weather and from the elements. You do not need the caps. I actually really like that. The chances of bumping something and actually changing your zero as a result of it are non-existent because they're very, very flushly mounted, and there's one less thing for you to lose. You don't have to worry about losing caps. You're not going to leave them on the bench at the range or something silly like that, which we have all done at some point in time. So I like the concept of having no caps. The battery compartment is no different than any other battery compartment. It's just a screw-off battery compartment. It does have a rubber O-ring on it, and your standard CR2032 battery goes inside that battery compartment. The red dot sight itself is actually a 3 MOA red dot, so it's not as large as some of the sights that I have tested, and then again at the same time it's not the smallest red dot that I've ever tested. You need to have at least 2 or 3 MOA on your red dot to make it effective in daylight hours, and with the 10 different settings on full brightness, you can see this in the daylight quite well. And then once again, the final feature that I'll talk about with this sight is its price point. $78.99 makes it a very affordable sight to use. Now, I have mounted this to my shotgun once already, and I'm going to tell you about the one thing that I have found so far that I really am not impressed with, but I don't know if it's going to be a problem or not, and that is the actual clamping device on the inside. This portion right here, this small little, it's about 3/4 of an inch of Picatinny rail, is all that's grabbing the rail on the one side. You have full support on the other side, but you only have this very small footprint on the clamping portion of the sight mount. That to me seems like if there is going to be a weak spot in this sight, that's probably going to be the location. But for $78.99, I'm willing to give it a try and willing to give it a risk to see how it lines up. Now, like I said, I have already had this mounted to the shotgun, and when it is clamped down, it seems very positive. There's no wiggle, there's none of that kind of business or hanky-panky going on. So it might be all right. I wish the footprint on the clamping device was a little bit larger than what it is. Don't know if that's going to be a problem or not, but we will find out. Now you can see I've gone ahead and I've mounted the sight to the rail on my Black Aces tactical shotgun here. As you can see, the sight is considerably higher than the iron sights. I have re-verified again that yes, I can completely see through the mount to utilize my iron sights both through the front and the back. Now I did not put the low-rise mount on this, but they do claim that you should be able to fully co-witness with this riser. I would imagine it depends on how your sights are laid out. Of course, you're going to have to try it. I much prefer the shoot through or the see through option, if you will, as opposed to trying to co-witness my sights through the glass of the scope. This is just the way I prefer it. To each his own. Everybody can do it a different way. I'm really impressed with the quality and the construction of it. The finish and the fit and the finish of the sight itself is actually very nice. I did play with the turret adjustments, and they do give you a little screwdriver to go ahead and make these adjustments. The clicks are very positive. They're very audible. You can actually feel the adjustments. They feel very positive. I have no concerns about them moving or shifting on their own. For an $80 scope, I did not expect there to be that good of feeling sight adjustments on here. Usually a lot of times with these less expensive scopes, the sight adjustments are very mushy. You can't really feel or hear the clicks. This one is the exception. It actually does quite well in that arena, and I'm very optimistic that this should do really well. All right, so we're out here on the range. It's about 18 degrees out. It's actually quite a nice day. There's no wind. The sun is up, shining through the clouds. It's actually quite a nice day out. I've got some sugar-free soda bottles set up downrange here. That's what we're going to be shooting at today, because that's about the only thing sugar-free soda is good for, is targets. And we're going to see how the red dot scope functions and works. Now, it is bright daylight out, and I can completely see the red dot on full power settings, so we have no problems with that whatsoever. So let's see how the gun shoots with the red dot. All right, so at the end of the day, how did I like the Gowutar sight? I actually really liked it. For $80, it's a very economical option, and the sight works very well. I was very happy with it. It adjusted exactly like it should. I had no problems whatsoever seeing the red dot sight in daylight hours. I really like the idea that it's got a shake awake on it. I really like the idea that I don't have to worry about losing any of the caps to cover the windage and elevation knobs. That's very nice. I like the mount that it comes with. I like the high-rise mount because I can see through it and I can use my iron sights. And I'm sure on a platform like this, if I didn't have iron sights, the low-rise mount would work just fine as well. I just didn't use it because it's not the way I'm going to set the shotgun up. But overall, I like the sight very much, and I'm very happy with the sight in general. Would I have a problem telling you should go out and buy it? Absolutely not. In fact, I've already recommended it to a couple of friends who were looking for a red dot sight for their AR platforms. And I see no reason whatsoever why not to say that this is a decent sight. Now, I'll keep shooting it, and I'll keep using it. And if I run into any problems over the next few weeks with it, I will certainly do another video to let you know. But as it stands right now with the shells that I shot through it, I've had no problems with it, and I'm very happy with it so far. So with that, let's go ahead and let's wrap this video up. Now, if you're liking what you're seeing here and you like the content of this channel, you'd be doing me a huge favor by hitting that like and subscribe button down below. Make sure you ring that notification bell so you get notified of upcoming videos. New video every Saturday, 8 o'clock in the morning, like clockwork. It's never gonna miss. And let's keep growing this channel. I really do appreciate all my subscribers. I appreciate everybody who watches my videos and the people who comment and give the thumbs up. It all helps out the channel, and it all helps me to grow my audience, and hopefully I can get to 10,000 subscribers here fairly soon. With that, this is Ed from Jack of All Trades. As always, thank you for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next video.